This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombernardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Very pleasant delivery there by Amy, didn't you think?
Yeah, I agree.
I haven't talked to her in a while. Huh? Should you guys talk to her at all?
It's been a while since I've talked to her. AJ, I'm sure you see her often in the office.
She's been super busy, I know, just with like last week, holiday week. So my talk was pretty much off for that entire week. And then getting some kind of new programming stuff, catching up on things this week. I've seen her like breeze past me in the hall. It's been a flash. I hear a whoosh of wind and it's a flash of Amy, and then she's gone.
So you're actually trying to claim that programming's a bitch of a job. Is that what you're saying?
She's got her hands full. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, here we go. I think she looks busy just to kind of distract everyone. What do you think?
You know, that could be it, but I can't tell for certain.
She just gathers up a bunch of random papers and runs around the office. Yeah.
She's either a really good actor or actually busy. I'm not sure.
I wonder if she is a good actor. Let me think about that. It's a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't talked to her in a couple of weeks, but I suppose I could reach out too. That's one thing I hate about people. Oh, I haven't heard from you in a long time. Well, then why don't you call me?
Phone works both ways.
Yeah, it works both ways, you dumb bastard.
You never call nobody. You never same to you, sir.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? Well, we'll get to it in a minute, but the Twins split a doubleheader yesterday, and I did not think, and everybody go, oh, God, they lost to Chicago. They're terrible. Do you think they're going to win all their games against a team? I mean, it does happen, but it's pretty rare. Calm down.
Yeah, it's funny you bring them up because I saw a article that said, you know, the White Sox first team to have an immaculate inning to close out, like in the ninth to close out the game. And I was like, oh, I wonder who they played. Of course, it was the Twins. So it was like 9 pitches, 9 strikes to end the game. I think it must have been game 1 or whichever one they lost.
You know what's weird about that? Because just a couple of days ago, there was a Twin that almost had a perfect inning too, and it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So why is it happening now in this? Well, the Twin, of course, didn't pull it off because he threw 1 ball.
Okay.
But I mean, twice in the same week, they got close to doing something has it ever been done before?
They said it had been many, many years. Since,
yeah.
Let's see here.
My favorite part was the last time a White Sox pitcher had an immaculate inning. It was 1923.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
101 years ago.
If you can tell me the name of the guy who was the last White Sox pitcher, I will give you $1,000 right now.
Well, one thing we know for sure, don't tell Tevin this, but it was a white guy. I can guarantee you that. 101 years ago in major leagues.
His name was Sloppy Thurston.
Sloppy?
No way.
It was a nickname. His actual name was Hollis, but everybody called him Sloppy Thurston.
Hollis Thurston was his real name.
Yep.
Say, listen, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Hollis Thurston the Third. Wasn't that the guy's name on Gilligan's Island?
Thurston might be.
Thurston Howell. Instead of Hollis Thurston, it was Thurston Howell. That's where they got that name then.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, they just flipped the names. Hollis Thurston to Thurston Howell. Okay. That works. I to this day, I could still watch that show. I know it was stupid at times, but I thought it was a very funny show.
Oh, that was one show because that came out, let's see here, 1964. But when I was in like 2nd grade, 3rd grade, me and my little brother would run home the 3 blocks because we knew if we got home by like 3:30, that's when it started on whatever TV Land or whatever vintage station it was on.
It was a good show.
Yeah.
I just, it was one of those, what was that? Sherman Schwartz, I think, produced that show, I think. But yeah, I always enjoyed it. It was, stupid. Well, one of the reasons I did enjoy it, because the skipper, the captain, was in Minneapolis for a couple of days, and he hung out with the KQ morning show for a couple of days, not only during the show, but afterward too, like going to lunch and, It was very cool, I thought. What was the name of that one fish place that I don't know if it's around anymore? Oh God, there was a like a fish place. What was it?
Was it like more commercial or?
Yeah, there were a bunch of them actually, but I don't think they're around anymore.
Was it Joe's Crab Shack?
No, it wasn't Joe's
Long
Crab
John
Shack.
Silver.
Long John Silver. I think that's
really?
it was.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
I think it was Long John Silver. I think you're right. There was one up in Brooklyn Park or Brooklyn Center, maybe, or maybe it's still Robbinsdale there. I don't know. It's, that area.
Yeah.
There. But yeah, hanging out with the skipper. And by the way, he wore his hat. every time he showed up.
Of course.
He had a
That's why
skipper
wouldn't
hat.
you?
Yeah, I feel like that generation of TV star, they're like, we just got to lean into this because everybody's gonna.
Yeah.
Like, Bob Denver probably got called Gilligan every time he left his house.
I would imagine that'd be a little tough to put up with. Oh, look, it's Gilligan.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where you're happy because this is what's made all of my money and made me successful, but you're also like, my name's Bob. Like, please stop.
Hey,
calling
buddy,
me.
where's your island?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You
It's-
finally got rescued.
Did that island ever have a name?
I'll say.
I don't remember. I don't remember it having a name. Do you?
No, I just knew it was Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, Gilligan's Island, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if it had the name before, but he just took it over. But yeah, I mean, I never knew that whole situation. Holy God. I'm looking at the headlines in the Star Tribune. Crookston officer who killed man in homeless shelter ID'd the same officer who killed a man in May. So he's killed 2 people in 3 months? Jesus, settle down, officer. Nick, what's his name? Nick Fladland killed Christopher Ryan Junkin, I don't know. Let me get this thing straightened away. Yeah, Christopher Ryan Junkin in the care and share shelter on June 30th. Chief says he was on leave for 16 days after that. He's opening fire, man. Well, maybe you should behave around cops. What do you think?
Or maybe 2 weeks off for killing somebody. Maybe extend that a little further. Let him clear his head.
I feel like that's for anybody. You're dealing with whether it was the right or wrong time to do something like that.
Mhm.
There's probably a lot of sleepless nights after something like that, just thinking about it.
Killing someone?
Yeah, I know I would probably need at least a month minimum.
Now, is that for everybody or just cops?
Well, I feel like if it's not a cop, you're going to spend some of those days behind bars.
Yep.
I told you that I went to high school with these 3 guys who murdered a woman, raped her, and then killed her, right?
Mhm.
And one of them, when he got out of prison, became a bus driver. So, I mean, nobody's going to be able to find out who I'm talking about here. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to say his name. But I ran into him. I said, man, what the hell were you guys thinking? And he said, and he was serious, and this is a quote, yeah, man, but she was still alive when I did her. Like, Jesus. Oh, okay. Well, then,
Yeah.
never mind.
That doesn't
Stand-up
help.
guy.
Doesn't help your case as much as you may think it
It
does.
really does not. I mean, but that's the one thing that I just hate again about politics and the way it all frames up. They assume that everybody is the same.
Mhm.
It's like, no. I've run into some people. I'm really glad I'm not like them. Let me put it that way.
Mhm.
So I don't know where they ever got that. That has to come out of colleges. Oh, that group of people, they're all the same. And I suppose before that, back in the slavery day, oh, black people, they're all the same.
Yeah, I think it's easier to kind of just throw a blanket statement over everything.
Yeah.
Oh, this specific group is all terrible drivers, or they don't know how to do this, and that rather than kind of break it down on a case by case basis.
Yeah, very true. Do you guys go for football games?
God, no.
No,
No.
I'm a major sports guy. I enjoy most of every sport.
But
College
not
football is the one I just can't get behind. There's so many games that in my mind are just so meaningless where it's like,
Mhm.
why am I supposed to be expected to sit down and watch this 2.5, 3 hour game?
Yeah, but it's only sucked for 64 years. So,
Yeah.
I mean, just be patient.
Remember when they won the national championship in 1904?
I think it was 61. They did actually win the national.
Yeah.
60 or 61, something like that.
Just a long time ago.
Yeah, I think I was 8 or something when they won the last dance. And I didn't care about football then, so
Right.
I don't even remember it because I didn't care. I was 8 years old, Fans can already buy beer and malt beverages. Now the University of Minnesota Regents approved a plan to phase in liquor sales. Oh, is that a good idea?
It's not a bad idea. That's
They're,
what I'll say.
they're already sneaking it in, so I don't think they'll
Oh,
see much
yeah.
of a change. This stadium will just make more money as a school.
I don't know if I want to drink a beverage that's sitting just right on my pubic bone. Because don't they hide it down their front of their pants?
Yeah, but I mean, when you're 19, 20 years old in college, you don't really care.
Yeah, true. That's very true. Minnesota Regents approved a plan to phase in liquor sales and in-seat hawking. What is hawking?
So
The
good.
hell
Is
that
that,
even
is that a
mean?
verb for like selling? Like
Must be. Yeah.
like-
Oh yeah, like
I'm
just have like the
hawking beers left and right up the aisles. Like
beer guy, cold beer here.
Unbelievable. Oh, God. I am not going to read this story, but I do. This is in the Star Tribune, ladies and gentlemen. This is a headline. You know, whenever you're going through a day, you go, oh, my life sucks. It's just terrible. I wish my life was a lot better. Well, at least this didn't happen to you. Bit of a rough stretch is the headline. Bit of a rough stretch. Minnesota family lost home to fire, loses another in a flood. Jesus.
A second home?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So thanks God. I really appreciate it. One burns to the ground. See, at least when 2955 Russell burned to the ground, we didn't lose a second one in the flood. So that was good.
Right. And their third home blew away in like a tornado.
Yeah.
Exactly. God, that is, how do you deal with that? The Southwest Minnesota family has seen one house burn down and 2 floods over the past 7 months.
Jeez,
That's a rough stretch.
Yeah,
Man.
that is a very rough stretch.
Unfortunately. We'll take a break, be right back. We'll talk some serious sports now because they split a doubleheader yesterday, which I forgot the second game was on at 4:00, so I missed it. They don't usually do that. It's like 1:00 and 7:00.
Yeah. Oh, they just back-to-back banged them out?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a 15-minute break or something.
It's like a 15 to 30, just rake and everything for the grounds crew. And then they're like, all right, let's get back at it.
And it was 3-2, 3-1 or something like that. They lost 1-1.
I think they won the second game 3-2, and then lost the first game 3-1, I believe.
3-1, yeah. Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. Thank you. They're having an overstock clearance and new product sale. It's going on right now, too, for the best prices ever when you use promo code TOM. And, of course, you get free shipping on your entire order. Get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets, only $29.98, and take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses, mattress toppers, 100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything's on sale for the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually do absorb. They have dog beds, they have blankets, couch pillows, and a lot more, so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM, and you get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146 or go to mypillow.com and use promo code TOM.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they taught you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. Yeah, expect the food to be good. That's a good idea. If you're going to have a restaurant, you should serve good food. That's what I think anyway. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market, the economy, knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call now. You can just call Josh now for a no obligation 48-minute evaluation, so it doesn't take forever either. You got nothing to lose. I mean, that's the key to this. You got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance, no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
You are indeed, ladies and gentlemen, and Judd Zulgad joins us from SKOR North. Split a doubleheader yesterday. Well, that's pretty good. They're not going to win every game against Chicago. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, and they've only lost once now. I think they're 9-1 against the White Sox. And the most important thing is we continue to discuss is their winning series. They won 2 or 3 in Chicago.
Yep.
Now they go to San Francisco, and I think they've won 6 consecutive series. So that's the important thing, because you're right. You're not going to win every single game. It's baseball. So, but
No.
if you win 2 or 3 consistently, and this is what the Twins are proving, you're going to be in pretty good shape.
Is Turtle Dove here already? Oh my God, Catherine, you're gonna why don't you drop Jude off of this? Dropping Jude. Oh, hi, Judy. Jude's very excited to be here.
I am by.
Well, wait, what?
I am by.
Oh no, I gotta say goodbye. Carry on. I'm not gonna say goodbye to my. She's leaving for 5 days, and she just comes in and goes, "Yeah, goodbye."
Threw up a deuce chuck and hits the
I know,
road.
you believe that? I'll be right back. Yeah, you guys do a good sports report. I'll be back.
Awesome. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, Judd. So speaking of the Twins, the immaculate inning is the reason they didn't finish out the series with a sweep, correct? The 9 pitches, 9 strikes, and we all go home and start game 2. It hasn't happened for the White Sox in, what were you saying, AJ, like over 100 years?
Yeah, 1923.
Yeah, I think it had been 100 years. Yeah. Kopech, 9 pitches and 3 strikeouts, which is, I guess, according to what I was listening to yesterday, I don't think the Twins have ever had one.
Really?
I don't think the Twins have ever had an immaculate inning. But I mean, again, the Sox have, the White Sox have been around for a long, long time, and it's been 100 years. So yeah, that was that's quite the extraordinary feat. I've seen them before, and I would have thought that the Twins would have one, but I guess they have not.
Interesting. And I know, like, kind of the talk of baseball right now is the Yankees, who have seemed to have completely just fallen apart and look more like a bottom dweller than a top team. Does that give us hope where if we make the playoffs, we don't have to shudder in fear of the dreaded Yankees?
Well, right now, the problem is that the Twins would play the Yankees in the first round, best 2 or 3 in Yankee Stadium. And as we all know, the Yankees get well against the Twins. So if you have to play them, I'm not real comfortable. But yeah, they have, I'm just checking it out here now. They have dropped into second place in the American League East. They're 2 games back of Baltimore. They are 3-7 in their last 10. And yeah, they have been playing bad. They've been playing bad baseball for an extended period now, and their record is still 56-38, which tells you what a great start that they got off to. But it's weird. It's weird too, because the trade deadline comes up on July 30th, and there's like there's so many teams, especially in the National League, that aren't necessarily like out of the playoff race now, because it's 3 wild card teams, that it's going to be very interesting to see who actually makes trades, like who dumps, because it's not a long list of teams necessarily, unless they just elect to bail out, that need to bail out.
And as we sit here on July 11th, we're still a little bit of ways away from the deadline, but is there a possible suitor that makes the most sense for the Twins if they want to go and add, say, some pitching, starting pitcher or something like that? Who right now is on their radar for trade targets?
Well, that's a good question, and we actually talked about this on our SKOR North Twin show yesterday, Age. I went through some trade candidates. Now, Texas has been playing better of late, but they are 6.5 back in the West. They still have a chance, but there's been a report that they're going to trade a few pitchers. The interesting name there potentially is Max Scherzer, who I guess I just read this morning will waive his no trade clause. Now, he's only started 4 games because he had back surgery, and he is, probably going to be coveted, and I'm guessing the Twins won't pay the price. But that being said, the thing with the Twins is, unless they're going to make a hard pivot here, and I don't think that they are, anyone with time remaining on their contract, to me, is a non-go, because this team is not spent. So, unless you can get a pitcher who is in a walk year, and potentially have the team that trades him help you out with his salary, I'm really curious to see how far the Twins would go, despite the fact that they're a good team, because they have not. But I mean, they have really not spent like they said that they weren't going to, and damn it, they have not spent.
What the hell's that all about? And by that I mean, why would my wife walk in here and say hi and bye? Ain't happening.
So she was just going to drop the dog off and leave?
Yeah. So, you know, a little hug, a little kiss, good I love you kind of deal. Oh, no, I had to chase her down the hallway.
She just cracks the door open and like lets
Yeah.
Jude off the leash and then shuts it and leaves. Yeah.
Where's Jude now?
He's got a little bed here in the studio.
Oh, very
He's
nice.
Very, very happy about that. But
I bet he is.
you guys, we're talking about the Twins, and I won't continue on for long, but they keep winning 2 out of 3, man. That's a damn good team doing that. And they sucked at the beginning of the year. So what happened, do you think, Judd?
Late April, they turned things around. Yeah, they were terrible at the outset. They're one of the best teams in baseball since like the end of April. I think part of it too, though, is they got off to a bad start, but they really weren't that bad. That's the thing. Like that, and it helps. First of all, Correa has been fantastic.
Yeah,
and he struggled. You know, he had the foot injury last year and struggled at the plate, but he's been great. When he
Judy.
Jude.
We
Jude's like,
said his name, so now he's whining.
Jude's like, "Where's my food? Just give me a snack, damn it." That's what Jude is saying.
Oh, I know. Yeah, we'll get it done.
Yeah, this Brooks Lee that they've called up has been great. When Royce Lewis could play, he's fantastic. Now he's hurt. And the other thing in the last, I don't know, month or so, Byron Buxton looks fantastic again.
Yeah.
He looks like the old Buxton, which is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely huge. So this team was for a month a chronic underachiever. But they're still what, 5 back of Cleveland?
Yeah, something like that. Yep.
But that being said, like, I think they were supposed to skew far more towards playing like they are currently than they did at the start of the season.
Which is great news because they were doing, their defense at the beginning of the year was horrendous, but it wasn't all of baseball. The defense was not very good in April and early May this year.
Yeah. It's, it comes and goes there too, man. I don't think that there's a lot of priority put by some, not all, like some guys. Correa at shortstop is phenomenal. He's absolutely outstanding, but you definitely can see some guys that don't put a priority on their glove work like they used to.
One thing I'm really glad about is that, I ended up getting into radio and then podcasting and all that stuff, and I wasn't the first baseman. When those guys like Correa wind up and throw it to first, you better not miss that, because if the ball hits you, it'll kill you. My God, that ball's moving.
Oh, Correa's got a cannon there. Correa has an absolute cannon. The amount of plays that he makes without a problem that should be far closer or it's incredible. We have seen so many shortstops cycled through here in the last 30 years. Greg Gagne on the 2 World Series teams was a phenomenal shortstop. Not as good at the plate as Correa is when Correa is healthy, but phenomenal shortstop. But then you think about, like, starting in 2000, the amount of shortstops that cycled through here. And I've always said fans should appreciate Correa because he makes the hard play look routine. But we saw that play screwed up for 25 years.
Yeah.
Jorge Polanco didn't exactly have the arm to make the plays that Carlos Correa is making.
No doubt about it. One thing I loved about that is both guys' names were spelled exactly the same, but one was Greg Gagne and the other one was Greg Gagne.
Oh, yeah.
Greg Gagne is actually a very good friend of mine. I've known him for a long, long time. Vern was such a great guy, too. Absolutely. So what else is happening in the world? Anything good for Minnesota other than the Twins? You got to
you gotta be excited.
Yep.
Sports wise, it's slowed down. The Vikings are a couple of weeks away from training camp. The U.S. Olympic team that's going to play in the games coming up has started their exhibition games, which is notable here because, of course, Ant is on that team and he's going to play a key role. But yeah, we are definitely in sort of the calm before the storm, because once training camp starts, it takes off.
Right. No question about it. So I like I said, you and I, that was mostly me bitching, but we exchanged text messages a lot at the beginning of the season about how horrible this team actually was. So I'm glad they figured it out, because, a summer without good baseball. Summer's great, but it sucks when baseball's terrible.
Oh God, yeah. A bad baseball team is just brutal because it just drags on and on. And there's so many, it's funny too, Tom, because when the Twins play bad teams and you go and watch them, it's not nearly as much fun. Like the Houston series, and the Twins won 2 or 3 in that series. The Houston series was really fun to watch because it was 2 competitive teams. But like when you got to watch the Twins play the A's, or there's just absolute garbage teams, it's just difficult because the level of competition is so subpar.
Now, talking about that, the Vikings have sucked lately. Are they going to get better?
It's an interesting question. I don't know. I don't know how good they're going to be this year, but I like the path that they're on. I think that there's a chance that I don't think that JJ McCarthy, the kid they drafted, a quarterback, I don't think there's any chance he's going to start the season. No. I think he'll be the backup, but like his progression behind the scenes is going to be the absolute key. So because they've got some nice components. I mean, they've got Jefferson and Addison at receiver. Hawkinson eventually is going to come back at tight end. Defensively, I think they're improved as well. So the quarterback, to me, like, can Sam Darnold prop them up enough? That's the big question.
Yeah. What's funny about that, and you guys have probably seen it. I saw it for the first time. I was, tuning around trying to find something to watch, and I hop on ESPN, and there's an entire half-hour show about our wide receiver, who's probably the best in football, describing his different touchdown dances. A half an hour of it.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
It's the sports abyss, Tom, right now. There's not a lot of stuff to talk about, especially if you're a show that's, like an NFL Live where you have to cover football year round. You reach for anything you can. And and you can tell he feels uncomfortable talking about it too. He's like, I agree. I'd rather talk about anything else.
This one is called, all his different dances that he does.
So yesterday morning, Netflix dropped an 8-part series called Receiver, and it's on five receivers that they basically got unfettered access to them throughout last year, including Justin Jefferson. And I think what they probably did was they probably lifted the touchdown dance thing from that because he describes them all. He's got the Monopoly where he
that's right,
where he does the gritty and rolls the dice. He's got the jet one where he acts like a jet that's about to take off. He's got like 4 different he's got the one where he grabs his hamstring like he's hurt.
Yeah, but he got that from a different guy though. A guy on the beach somewhere that invented. He would strut along doing the dances, and all of a sudden he grabbed his inner thigh like he got hurt, and then go, "No, I'm kidding," and then move on.
Yeah, so he's got like 4 of them, 4 or 5 of them, and yes, he described them all. It's actually pretty funny, but
half an hour show on the touchdown dances that I do. It's like,
you got to have them prioritized.
I can't see Chuck Foreman doing that.
No.
Different times.
Did
maybe. Chuck spike the ball or just hand the ball to the official?
Yeah, mostly just that. Chuck Foreman is one of the classiest people I have ever met in my entire life. I love that guy. He's been a huge fan of every show I've ever done. He's just really nice. Well, although he works with Bob Sansevere, there's a downside of it,
The original West Coast system running back, Chuck Foreman. I think he was the first one. That guy could catch the football.
Oh God, yes, no question about it. But seriously, do you guys know him at all? You ever?
I've dealt with him. Yeah, he's a nice man.
He's just the nicest guy you'd ever want. At that talented, but every time I see Chuck, he said, "No, we got something in common now. You get fired from the highest rated morning show in America," and they gave the ball to Brent McClanahan in the Super Bowl.
Oh God! Oh.
Explain it again, Bud. You got Chuck Foreman, and you don't give him the football at the 2-yard line.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. And that ball is still loose.
Yeah, there seems to be a long list of running backs that are like, I should have gotten the ball in the Super Bowl or key playoff moments, whether it's, Walter Payton, they give it to Refrigerator Perry instead.
I remember.
Or Marshawn Lynch not getting the ball in the Super Bowl, or Chuck Foreman. Yeah, they've all got a gripe or something to complain about.
Did the Refrigerator fumble, though, on the 2-yard?
No, he at least got into the
He scored.
Yeah.
But it was Bush League, man. Walter Payton finally makes the Super Bowl. They can get him a touchdown, and they give it to Refrigerator Perry. That was
another classy guy, by the way. Walter Payton, nicest guy you'd ever want to meet. Great guy.
Oh, Walter?
Yeah, so, whatever.
What a player, too. What a player he was.
Can we change the name of this from the Judd Zulgad show to the Let's Bitch About Sports for 10 minutes because I'm on it?
Absolutely. In fact, I never really saw it as a thing to do with my name. So, this is I'm fine with that.
I'm fine. All right. Any closing comments? I know you're a busy man.
Oh, God, I'm so busy. No, that's it. Twins off today, and then they start a 3-game series against the Giants in San Fran, and then they are on the All-Star break. So they're in pretty good shape.
See, that is proof once again there is no God. My wife leaves town for 5 days, and the first day there's no baseball. What the hell? What did I ever do, God? Explain it to me.
You know what you can do? Take Jude for a long walk.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he'll love to do that with me. Where's Mom? Where's Mom? Where's Mom? That's what that's good.
It sounds like he's sleeping now.
Is he?
Yeah, he's sleeping / pouting over in the corner.
Why is he pouting?
Because Catherine's gone.
Gets to be around a big-time show?
Yeah, see?
Star? He's a star?
No, you're right. I don't know. Well, I'll have to talk to him when we get home. There's no question about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And what he'll do when we get home, he'll sit staring at the front door. That's what he'll do.
For 5 days?
Oh, God, yes. It's when she's gone, it's just he huffs and puffs. He gets all wound up. All right, Palomino, we will talk to you on Tuesday.
You will indeed. Talk to you guys later. Take care.
Thanks a lot. Looking forward to it, pal. We shall take a break. Be right back. Chris Egert to join us right after this. Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Austin Bartz of Bart's Lawn and Landscape and Bart's Snow Sculptures.
I started banking with North American, I think, 3.5 years ago. All the people know me by name. I know them by name. It's fun to come into the bank and actually talk to somebody you know. So I made the switch and I'm very happy. It's the best bank I've ever been at.
So why not bank where I bank? With my friends at North American Banking Company. To learn more about North American Banking Company, go to nabankco.com. That's nabankco.com, or do what I do and stop by any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? Inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings, or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
K&L Surplus and Ammo in Lina Lakes is my choice for firearms and ammunition. Jim, the owner, is one of the most knowledgeable people in the business and is great at getting you into the right firearm for your needs. We've talked about that before. You need the right firearm. Jim's a guy who can get it done for you. K&L Surplus and Ammo now carries Benelli shotguns that offer enhanced performance, amazing reliability for uses ranging from waterfowl hunting to skeet shooting and more. I highly encourage you to stop in, talk with Jim and the rest of the K&L Surplus crew. Between their superior knowledge of firearms, friendly customer service, overall stock, and fair pricing, I can't imagine a better location to purchase your next firearm. K&L Surplus and Ammo is on Lake Drive in Lina Lakes, open Tuesday through Saturday. You can reach them by phone at 763-757-2614 Or you can also visit them online at www.klgunstore.com.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Well, that first, 35 minutes was just top notch, I think. Might drop off a little here with Chris. I go, oh, wait a minute, he's already on.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
It's been a prevailing feeling I've been having all morning that everything I touch is turned to shit. So.
Except for your marriage, of course, and family.
I didn't say that.
Oh,
sleeping on the couch.
It's gotten very, very tough. No question about it. I just got a message. I'm pretty excited about, like I said, and I'll be complaining about this for the next 3 days, but Catherine's leaving town, or she left town now. It's going down to meet Alex and our granddaughter down in Orlando. She's in some kind of competition, some kind of deal.
Yeah.
I just looked at my schedule, and tomorrow, right after the show tomorrow, I'm playing golf with Meat Sauce and Johnny Randall. I love Johnny Randall. You guys know Johnny?
Be fun.
I met John Randall when I was 8 years old. He hosted a Vikings football camp over on the University of St. Thomas.
Sure, yeah.
And there's an old picture of me standing next to him, and he is just a mountain of a man.
Oh, yeah.
And my whole body is probably the size of his calf. I'm like, how are you this big?
And again, one of the nicest people you'd ever want to meet.
Oh, yeah. And
he's a great guy.
And terrifying on the football field. Like the eye black and just a motor that doesn't stop. But then, off the field, very nice guy.
So I guess it was a year or two ago. Yeah, it might have been 2 years ago. Played with Johnny Randall, and Meat Sauce was there too, and another guy, very nice guy. But we're on the first tee, and Johnny Randall comes over, puts his arm around me. He goes, "Hey, Tommy, let me ask you a question. I looked at the foursome here, and there are two guys that are in the National Hall of Fame. Now, who would that be?" He tries to diminish their attitude on the first tee. No, just honest to God, most of the people, like superstars like John Randall would be, most of those people are pretty damn nice. It's the ones who think they're a big deal that are a pain in the ass.
You're right about that. I could not agree with you more. Could not agree with you more.
Well, it's like that in TV news too. The superstars like you're a great guy.
Yep.
Superstars.
Some of these other hun yucks, you know what I mean?
Yep, you're looking at the superstar right here, buddy.
Although, Chris, are you feeling a little bit more lethargic or bloated or pudgy today after those cheeseburgers?
Oh,
just one cheeseburger, but it was that was at least a half pounder. I don't mess around.
Oh man, no doubt. You guys ever eaten at Red Cow?
Oh
yeah, it's good.
Oh my God,
Very
their burgers are good. There's one right by the house out there. Just a great guy. I believe Riley's the manager's name, and he still refers to me as the godfather of Wayzata. So that's nice.
Good, as he should.
Channel 5's Chris Egert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. I have not made a move toward the national news so far. I was looking at the local news, and that the one cop who killed two people in 2 months. Yeah, in Kristyn.
Yeah. Yep. That came out yesterday. The last incident was somebody was in kind of a crisis situation in a homeless shelter up there, and this officer responded and shot and killed the person. Let's see, that was one of our big stories this morning. We also had one of our reporters live this morning outside Great Wolf Lodge because there's apparently some kind of parasite in the water at the slide that got some people sick. Like
that.
Like diarrhea, vomiting, like that whole bit. I don't know. We were talking about that this morning. Listen, we've all been to a water park or a pool or whatever. What in the world could you possibly do, which this is a rhetorical question, to keep the water 100% clean? Because people are people, and they're gross. They're gross.
They pee in the pool. I know they do.
Right, and I'm not even saying it was pee. I'm not saying anything. What I'm saying though is what in the world can you do? Like, you can only put so much chemical in the water, straight up, unless you're You've got people going down the water slide in acid or something. Like, I don't know what do you do? Or Lysol. They're just swimming in pure Lysol. Like, what else do you do? So,
but think about that. You got people peeing in the pool. You know, some people don't, as you know, Rich probably say, get about that bed and wash your ass, girl.
Right. Or even like little kids in there who a little kid might think it was farting and it sharted. Right. And like, I mean, there's a million different things.
And you're swimming in it.
Right. But I mean, to me, I'm sitting here talking it out. It's a miracle those things aren't closed more often.
No doubt about it. Now, where's this pool closed?
Great Wolf Lodge. So down by Mall of America. Have you not done the Grandpa Tommy take the kids to Great Wolf Lodge bit yet? Yeah.
Big slide. Yeah, I know where you're talking about. I have not taken them there yet. I don't know why that. You're right.
That's a rite of passage.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. We didn't have those when I was a kid.
No, we didn't either.
No, none of that stuff.
We did have a high dive at our municipal pool though in my little town we grow up in. And
did you really?
Yeah. And I don't even think they can do that at the pools anymore because there's such a liability for it. I think a lot of the high dives, they've got to close them because it's just too much.
Got to be honest with you, at Cleveland Park, North Minneapolis, kind of near Lowry and Penn, that general area.
Yeah.
But one thing that used to occur was they didn't have a big slide. They didn't have the swirly slides or any of that stuff there. But pretty much every time I ever went near that pool, then they're only about 3 feet deep, those park pools like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Every time there was a fist fight in the pool. It's like, what? Why would you get in a fist fight in the pool?
Why not?
Well, that's true. I guess if you're slow, the other guy's got to be slower because he's in the water too. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it's all about.
I heard I'm going to tell you a story, and I don't know why, but this was a story that I heard that happened in Omaha a long time ago about somebody breaking into the pool to go swimming, which I know happens a lot, but they were like scaling the fence to get into the pool over the top. And like, think of like your old school chain link fence type thing. You know how they had kind of that rough edge thing?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Not like, but if you caught it just right, that could be really sharp.
Oh yeah.
Somebody got their sack caught on that thing.
Could you tell their sack was caught because it went, help me? That voice also got a lot higher.
I think like it got beyond the sack and like got.
Okay, we can stop.
Of all the stories you could have told this morning, Chris.
I guess what I'm saying is break into the hotel pool. There's an easier way. Don't climb the fence. No pool's worth climbing the fence. That's your public service announcement. No pool's worth breaking into.
Yeah, no question. But some parks tend to be more hazardous than others. And maybe it's just a coincidence, but the fist fights in the pool in the summer, but in the winter, they would open a skating pond at Cleveland Park. I skated on it one time. I was not a big skater. I never have liked cold weather. I'm not a cold weather fan at all. But the one time I skated, I'm skating along. Some reason I slipped and fell. And the skate on my right foot, the blade went right up the home run.
You told us this before.
It's like, good God.
Came up before.
I'm never going to stop telling that story. I mean, I don't know how deep it went, but it was like, first of all, this is embarrassing. And secondly, now there's blood on the ice, which is not a good sign.
Nobody needs anything going on.
No, I would agree with you.
Oh,
but great old memories. Oh, one more. We'll do the trifecta.
What else got tore open here?
This was not a tore open deal. We're playing baseball at Cleveland Park, same exact park. And one of the guys on our team hit a ball into the gap. So he's going to try to stretch a double into a triple. As he's running, I didn't know this. He had a box of farmer matches in his pocket that started on fire because they would rub against each other while he's running. All of a sudden, his right pocket is smoking and then bursts into flames. I'm like, what the hell?
Is he smoking in like a cigarette between innings and he needs matches in his pocket?
He had a box of matches in his pocket. Why you would do that, I don't know. I'll never forget that. He was between second and third, and all of a sudden his pocket caught on fire. Like, what the hell? I've had a good life, haven't I? What a wonderful life I've had.
Yeah, that's something different. Haven't heard that.
All right. Any closing statements on the news? Anything we should know?
Joe Biden news conference today at 4:30, I believe. And I think it's going to be live. And I think we're going to see definitively, well, not definitively, but I think depending how that goes, you're going to see the tide turn one way or the other. Is kind of the sense.
Or he's not. Is that
What's
what you're
that?
saying? He's either going to stay for sure or not stay.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I mean, I can't obviously predict that, but if it does not go well, I think you're going to see a lot more people get onto the, hey, he's got to get out thing.
Yeah.
And I think if he handles his own and does okay with it, then we're going to be sort of where we're at right now. So
is there any definitive person who would take his spot? Because I know Kamala Harris is pissed because it's not her.
Yeah, I just saw a poll walking in here actually that showed, I think it was an ABC News poll that showed Harris and I didn't see what the demographic of it was. I just looked up at the screen and it had Harris beating Trump. But then my caveat to that is I don't know. I didn't see the fine print to see what demo it was. So,
I just looked it up. It was black women under 50 who are married to white men. That's who it was. That was the poll based on that. I'm just telling you, I saw the poll.
They actually just asked her family.
Yeah, exactly. It was a Harris family poll.
59% of her family said yes, she could be
great for her.
That's not bad for your family.
No, that's pretty good.
So in closing, has there ever been a period in our history like this where people couldn't stand either one of the people running for president? I mean, that must have happened before, I would think.
I think we talked about this. I know one thing. There's never been a period like this prior to where we had the social media crap aspect of it the way
That's
it is.
very true.
And so,
No, you're absolutely right.
Twitter will be fun. Twitter will be very entertaining while that news conference is happening. That's all I'll say.
Oh God, yes. There's no.
It'll be a disaster.
I have never experienced in my life, maybe I wasn't paying attention, but two guys who are hated as much as these two are. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Pretty rough, man. Pretty rough patch. But all right, get off your ass and go do the news.
All right, gonna go do some stuff. See you guys.
Thanks, Pally.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Channel 5's Chris Egert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. We will take a break. Be right back. Little news and information up next. When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. To thank you, they're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever. When you use promo code TOM, you get free shipping on your entire order. You get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets for only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses and mattress toppers. 100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything is on sale, from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM, and you can get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146. Go to mypillow.com and use promo code TOM.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. A little news and information. I'm not going to read the story, but I'll read the headline. 18% of Americans say they've been told they're mowing incorrectly. Would you ever walk up to someone and go, you're not doing that right?
Is the complaint coming from inside the house?
Oh, now I do have to click on it and figure it out, because you might have a point. You're mowing incorrectly.
Honey, I don't like that pattern.
Do it yourself.
Yeah, then you do it. Absolutely. You don't like it, then you do it. In the age of social media hacks and tricks, it's easier than ever to learn that you've been doing something wrong, which is just wonderful. In a new poll, 40% of adults say they have witnessed their own parents making mistakes while cleaning and doing chores around the house, and about half of them tried to correct them. Overall, they asked people what cleaning tasks they have been told they're doing wrong, and the number one answer was folding laundry.
Yep. Can relate.
Well, there's only one way to do it.
Tom, let me educate you here.
Okay, please do.
I was told the other day that I was hanging up shirts on the hanger wrong. And I thought you put the hanger through the shirt, head of the shirt hole, whatever, you put it up.
Oh, they like to go through the bottom?
Oh, no. It's like you got to have the shirt facing a certain way.
Oh.
With, like, it has to hit, like the front of it has to be to the right. Like, yeah, there's a lot of ways where, you can get corrected on how you're quote unquote doing things wrong, where it's just somebody else's personal preference.
See, I just my shirt is not, there's not a wrinkle in it, so I must be doing it right. Because if it's wrinkled, I could see.
Right. Like if you ball up the shirt and throw it on the ground, then you hung it up wrong. Like, as long as it's on the hanger, you're fine.
All right, here are the top 10 things we're doing incorrectly when it comes to this stuff. Number 10 is dusting. How can you do that wrong? You're dusting something off, and then you're dusting it off.
Yeah, and I think some of these are like now people have found easier ways to do it. So they say you're doing it wrong if you're not doing it the easiest way possible.
Cleaning furniture. I don't know what they mean by that. What they mean, like the fabric part of it?
No, vacuuming or using some sort of spray. I don't know.
Oh, like stuff slips down between the cushions, that kind of deal?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Okay, here's one. There's only one way to do this: cleaning the toilet. I mean, if you're cleaning the toilet, there's only one way to do it: clean the damn toilet.
Yeah, and I feel like when you get done, if it's still dirty, you did it wrong. If it's clean, mission accomplished.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. There's no question about that. Mowing the lawn. Now, that's the one I just don't. How can you mow a lawn wrong?
Do they have any explanation for it in there, or do they just list?
Let me click on it. I don't think they do, but maybe they don't have an explanation for it.
Well, now that I think about it, I have a friend who used to be a greenskeeper guy at a golf course when he was in college, and he forcibly he would send me these videos where it's like, oh, I can't believe this guy's mowing it like this, I would do it this way. It's like, well, he's doing all right, it looks like to me. I can't tell because I am a greenskeeping novice. I have zero information on certain patterns, and I drop you drop the mower to a certain level and you go, that's it. Whereas there's certain cross-cutting patterns, you got to edge it, you have to get the weed whacker out and all this stuff, and it's like I have none of that. I just want the grass to be shorter. That's my end goal. And if I accomplish that, my job is done.
You know, I actually do remember reading a story years and years ago about a guy his neighbors complained about him mowing his lawn, that he waited too long between mows and things like that. That they didn't like his lawn. It made the neighborhood look bad. And I'll never forget this. Tore up his entire lawn and replaced it with AstroTurf. That's pretty, but that stuff does not look good as a home lawn.
It doesn't, but I will say is that if you just don't care, go for it. You know what I've seen actually is a small trend is rock front yard, like rock.
Yep.
Like it's cooler there. It's better for like the environment in a sense. You could argue like you don't have to use as much water to like, keep your grass green. So people down south, I know, are switching to rock front yards.
Yeah. You've seen them, some plants among the rocks and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah.
Like ferns
I know what
you're
talking. It does look nice.
Yeah. That looks better, I think, than turf. It looks more natural.
Yep. I agree. Okay. So you got gardening and yard work, doing dishes by hand. Why would you do that? If you got a dishwasher, why would you do dishes by hand?
See, this is where my household, we have a dishwasher. It's used as storage. I've actually never once heard or seen that thing work.
Really?
Not because I don't think it can, just because we chose not to. So like
really?
When I went to college and moved into a house with some guys, that was the first time I ever the first like week or two, I was doing all my dishes by hand in the sink. And the guys were like, AJ, what are you doing? We have a dishwasher. I was like, well, I don't know. Frankly, I don't know how to use it.
There you go.
I'm 19 years old, 20 years old. I have no idea how to use a dishwasher. So I still probably would prefer to do it by hand. I think I get it a little cleaner.
No, there you go. See, we've learned things today. Loading the dishwasher. Some people do that wrong. I don't really see how you could. There's a place for glasses and there's a place for plates. How do you do that wrong?
You just put things where they're not supposed to be.
I guess.
Like the people that put the pots and the pans on the top shelf instead of on the bottom.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
See,
Good point.
That was me. As soon as we started changing over to it, I got a whole lesson, a walkthrough of like, these go up here, these go down here.
Yeah.
Don't mix and match.
Okay, now here's the other thing. Doing laundry. You put it in the thing and you put the soap in and you're done. How can you do that wrong?
Do you sort yours?
Well, yeah, you can't put some colors together.
Not me. I live dangerously. If
You
it fits,
throw it all in
if
there?
it fits, it ships. It just goes. It just goes in.
Although most clothes don't bleed color anymore, do they? I wouldn't think.
That's a thing from like way back when color dye was an issue. Like for the first, if I have a very colorful shirt, the first watch, yes, maybe I'll separate them. After that, it's all fair game, like Kevin said, because I don't want to do two separate loads if it can all fit in one.
Yep.
It's like when you bring the groceries in, you're not going to make 2 trips, 3 trips. You can just do 4 bags on each arm and you muster inside.
That's what I do.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not going back to the car.
No, I don't want to go back out to the garage.
I like it. Good call. Number 2 would be mopping and sweeping. Yeah, that I could see, people miss stuff in the corners and all that.
Absolutely.
But number 1 is folding laundry. 33% say they've been told they're folding laundry wrong. But again, there's only one way to fold it, I would think.
I will say women's clothes are a nightmare to try and fold. And I will refuse.
Yeah.
It's like a Rubik's Cube.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that probably does make sense. I would not ever fold Catherine's clothes.
No.
No way.
Some like tank top thing that's like a weird VS shape. And you're like, nope, you can do it.
Okay, there are a couple more things we need to get to because it's coming. When does the state fair start this year?
I believe it's August 22nd.
It's August 22nd. Okay.
I'll double check that.
Yeah, because some state fairs started now. They start in the second week in July. So why did we go to the, well, it's over by Labor Day, right?
Yeah, it's August 22nd through September 2nd.
Okay, so basically they did that so none of the kids would be back in school yet, correct?
Yes, for the most part. Yeah, because I like middle school, elementary school, high school. Those typically begin, if it's a public school at least, after Labor Day.
Yep. Yeah, usually the week after. At least when I remember being in school, the state fair was always the end of the summer kind of party, and then you get into school.
No question about it. We got a couple of things we need to get to right after this. Ellen DeGeneres is quitting showbiz. I thought she got fired. That's not the same as quitting.
I think she got fired and then just tried to claim that I'm quitting because it was my decision to get fired.
Oh, so she wouldn't take the fact she got fired.
You can't fire me if I quit.
No, it's
I'm
absolutely
going to go
true.
with my dignity.
Absolutely true. Well, I got fired, and then they told the press that I retired.
You're not?
Shut up. I hate you. I just like to point that out. And honest to God, still 80% of people in state think I did retire because those assholes lied about it.
Ridiculous.
I don't understand. Don't you have another drink, you booze hound? Anyway, we'll talk about the fact that Ellen DeGeneres is quitting showbiz. And here's the most important part, because the state fair is huge in Minnesota.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest in the country, isn't it?
I think it's us in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, us in Texas. That's right.
Texas, though, they do like a month-long
They
fair.
do, yeah.
So the attendance numbers are a little skewed.
So our second topic in the next segment will be the 10 states that love fair food and the states that hate it. Boy, I don't know, man. If you've ever been to state fair, I don't know how you could hate the food at the Minnesota State Fair.
There's something for everybody.
Well, phenomenal. No question. We'll be right back right after this with those stories. K&L Surplus and Ammo in Lino Lakes is my choice for firearms and ammunition. Jim, the owner, is one of the most knowledgeable people in the business and is great at getting you into the right firearm for your needs. We've talked about that before. You need the right firearm. Jim's a guy who can get it done for you. K&L Surplus and Ammo now carries Benelli shotguns that offer enhanced performance, amazing reliability for uses ranging from waterfowl hunting to skeet shooting and more. I highly encourage you to stop in, talk with Jim and the rest of the K&L Surplus crew. Between their superior knowledge of firearms, friendly customer service, overall stock, and fair pricing, I can't imagine a better location to purchase your next firearm. K&L Surplus and Ammo is on Lake Drive in Lino Lakes, open Tuesday through Saturday. You can reach them by phone at 763-757-2614, or you can also visit them online at www.klgunstore.com.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? Inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Austin Bartz of Bartz Lawn and Landscape and Bartz Snow Sculptures.
I started banking with North American, I think, 3.5 years ago. All the people know me by name. I know them by name. It's fun to come into the bank and actually talk to somebody you know. So I made the switch and I'm very happy. It's the best bank I've ever been at.
So why not bank where I bank? With my friends at North American Banking Company. To learn more about North American Banking Company, go to nabankco.com. That's nabankco.com, or do what I do and stop by any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
You are indeed. There's no question about it. Ladies and gentlemen, back a little news and information. Did you guys ever watch Ellen DeGeneres' show?
Not on purpose.
It was one of those where it was like it just seemed to be on at certain times. So, like if I was home sick as a kid in school, like it's right in the middle of the day. She was kind of entertaining at the time. So not religiously, but every once in a while.
She was a much better stand-up comedian, I thought, than a host of a show. I thought she was very good at stand-up.
See, that's interesting you say that, because I've never seen I've seen like small highlights of her stand-up work, but I've never sat down and watched like a half hour, an hour special.
No.
She one time showed physically, she was complaining about women's public bathrooms.
Okay.
And how when women go into a public bathroom, it's a total different deal than peeing at home, right? Because they obviously have to sit down to pee. But she did this whole thing on the Carson show, on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, where she said, how this happens, I don't know. But you go in and the entire seat of the toilet is covered in urine. Now, how the hell does that happen? Because you kind of seal it off when you sit down, right? So she did this deal and she did the whole physical thing where she goes, all righty then. And her ass is moving around in this very wide circle. Like they're peeing on the lid or not the lid, but the seat on purpose. She was very funny as a stand-up.
Okay.
Never cared for her as a talk show host.
Yeah, I think the clips that I always saw going viral were the ones where she would have a clown like hide in a box or something and like scare her guests. But yeah, other than that, I didn't really see too many highlights from her show.
Not really great.
Okay.
My favorite one was when, you know, the actress Dakota Johnson.
Oh, sure.
She was on the show at one point, and they, you know, because she's in movies, she's made multiple appearances back to back and whatever. A year goes by and she joins Ellen's show again, and Ellen kind of like pounces on her, and she's like, "So I just wanted to ask you, do you not like me? How come I didn't get an invite to your birthday party?"
Oh, God.
And she's like, "Well, Ellen, that's not true, because last time I was on the show, I didn't invite you. I didn't, know you even liked me that much." But, and, she's, tries to be the Ellen, like, "Oh,
Right.
I'm fun, but no, I like you. We all like you." She goes, "Well, I know I didn't invite you then. So I made it a point to send you and your crew invites to my party this year." And she's like, "Well, that's not true. I didn't get an invite." And then she's like frantically looking around, and she's like, "No, I did. Ask him and ask him and ask your producer, Ron." And they're like, "Yeah." And she goes, "I must have been busy." And it was a very awkward thing. And since that point, everybody's like, Dakota Johnson.
Yeah.
Dragging Ellen through the mud. We love it.
I was just thinking about this. So I've never been invited to either one of your two birthday parties. So,
I don't think I've had a quote unquote birthday party.
It's been a while.
Like 20 years.
My last birthday, I was working the golf show. So,
there you go.
if you wanted to come on to that, I could have got you a free ticket.
So your birthday's in like February or something?
Yep.
Who's this now? Oh, God.
Drum roll.
It might be Andy again. I hope his son's not still sick. Jesus, what kind of day am I having?
Not a great one so
Out of my
far.
pocket, for Christ's sake. Well, it's not him. It's somebody who doesn't realize that I have a show right now. I'll call him back in 20 minutes. In any case, here's the thing that really sticks out to me, though.
Okay.
And it's pretty amazing. Ellen was on for how long? Would she have a talk show for 15 years, something like that?
That sounds right.
I think it's around 15 years, maybe even longer, maybe shorter. I don't know, because I didn't watch it. I watched a couple times, and it was not for me. No question about
19 years, it looks like.
So she had a show on for 19 years. The headline to this story is Ellen DeGeneres is quitting showbiz.
Mm-hmm.
The line is the story is 3 lines long. After 19 years, they give her 3 lines in the news. A lot of people didn't like her, did they?
I feel like she's also had a couple I'm done with showbiz like actions, she's when you step away from the show and you end the show, it's like, well, okay, that's it. You might do some other stuff here and there. I'm sure like she was Dory in the Pixar movies, Finding Nemo and stuff like that. She had her own movie. Like she might do some more voicing and stuff like that. But in terms of showbiz on TV, cable television, I don't think she's expected to do more, especially at like where she is in her career.
Because it says here, this is the entire story.
Okay.
Ellen DeGeneres is quitting showbiz after her final Netflix special airs later this year. During a recent show, she said, quote, "This is the last time you're going to see me. After my Netflix special, I'm done." When a fan asked her if she'd ever voice Dory from Finding Nemo again, she said, quote, "No, I'm going bye-bye. Remember." Why is she being so harsh about this?
Probably because she wants everybody to tune into her Netflix special.
Oh, that's what it is?
So, yeah, if you want to catch Ellen DeGeneres for the last time, you have to do it now. Otherwise, you're going to miss out.
I suppose. Like I said, I thought she was a very good stand-up. Never cared for her as a talk show host. But I have heard from many people I know, she is impossible to work for. Nothing's ever right. It's kind of like working with AJ. Tevin and Tom, it's just not right. You got it wrong again. Same story.
Bullies me every day.
Every day. It's shot nonstop. No question about it. Now, having said that, I got to tell you that I Olivia is one of our sponsors on the show, and I've been on the Olivia program. I lost about, 30 some pounds. I've lost a lot of weight so far.
Yeah, you're looking great.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
But I'm about, I think, 13 pounds or something away from about 13 pounds, 12 pounds away from my goal. But there is a woman who's from San Diego who works at Olivia down in Edina.
Okay.
She was raving about this show. She said, I started listening to your show. You guys are phenomenal. It's the best morning show I've ever heard. So that's kind of very nice, I thought.
Way to go, Tevin.
Yes.
Yeah, way to go, Tevin.
Me.
But I thought I'd pass that along to you guys. I try to do that whenever somebody really loves the show and all the rest of it. And, you know, if those pricks over across the street, you know, could ever back off on me retiring, maybe people would know we have a show. So that'd be good.
I've heard nothing but good things about the people over at Livia. They help you out.
No, they're
friendly,
very
they're
nice.
kind.
Yep, they're very nice. Except for Carol. She's okay. But yeah, no.
So other than Carol.
I've known Carol, God, I don't know how many years I've known her. She's a wonderful person. You know what's great about her? She asked me to do like videos or whatever. And every time we do a video, Catherine shoots them and I do them and all the rest of it. She's very complimentary about it. I love it when people are very nice. They ask you to do something and then they call you back and go, hey, you did a great job.
Yeah.
Does that happen all that much anymore?
I think it's starting to happen more.
Good.
Because I think people realize like we all get kind of beat up over the course of our day. And so if you can tell somebody, hey, you know, I think that you did a great job doing that.
Yeah.
Or the other day, one of my coworkers wore a cool pair of shoes and like, oh, I think she spoke Spanish. And so I learned how to say, I like your shoes in Spanish. And she like looked at me like, oh my gosh, like that. Thank you so much that you took the time out of your day to give me a compliment. So yeah, say something nice to somebody, everyone.
So what was the line you heard in Spanish?
I couldn't repeat it to you now because once I said it, it immediately left my memory.
But what was it about?
Her shoes. I know Zupatos, I think is shoes in Spanish.
Zupatos?
Yeah.
Zupatos.
Kristyn Burtt will probably know when we have her.
Yeah, well, that's probably true. That's a very, very good point. She'll be on with us in about 6 minutes or 5-6 minutes, something like that. Yeah, because her husband's Spanish.
Yeah.
So I assume she can speak Spanish.
At least a little bit. Better than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to be able to speak more Spanish than I do now. I used to speak a little Italian. Well, I still speak some Italian, though. And I still don't understand why Andy's son has an Italian accent. I just don't understand it. I'll tell you what. It's like,
has Bob been babysitting?
Yeah, I said he's been babysitting. That's what it is.
No, he's not yelling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, Tom! Today's National State Fair Food Day, and even though this holiday is only a couple of years old, state fairs are definitely not. The first U.S. state fair was held in Syracuse, New York in 1841. Holy Hannah. According to a recent poll, the number one reason Americans go to the state fair is the food. You think that's probably true here?
Oh, 100%.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's the food.
Yeah. At this point, it's like the livestock and like some of the other stuff. The grandstand, you might be going for a concert, but for the most part, I mean, we were just talking about yesterday or 2 days ago. Like they just announced the new food list and everybody's raving about that. So
no doubt about it. So 81% of people say that's the draw, more than spending time with family and friends, entertainment and music, rides and animals. But some states are crazier about the food than others. Survey found Vermont loves state fair food the most. That's hard to believe it beats out Minnesota, though.
I want to know, like, dude, what food is at the Vermont State Fair?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
And how are they proving that they love it more? Because I want to talk to whoever did this survey and tell them how much I love the state fair food.
There you have it. Yeah, see, this is, I'm sorry. A survey found Vermont loves state fair food the most. Ohio second, followed by South Dakota, West Virginia, Washington, Arkansas, North Dakota, Tennessee, Florida, and Iowa. Minnesota's not even in the top 10.
Screw this list.
Yeah, I agree with you. This is not real. Utah is the state that's the least interested in fair food. It's unclear if that means their tastes are higher or lower than state fair food. Hawaii is also down on it. And the other state, why would you go to the state fair in Hawaii anyway? I want to hang out at the beach, man.
That could be fun, though.
Well, maybe.
Just a giant luau, essentially.
Yep.
Yeah, so okay, look, we got state fair food. What do you got? Pineapple? Oh, boy. That's exciting.
Spam.
Spam. Yeah, they got spam. That's right. Other states that are okay, they're okay passing on fair food. Montana, Rhode Island, Maine, Delaware, Virginia, Pennsylvania, Oregon, and Michigan. Yeah, I'm sorry, but this is not correct. Minnesota has some of the best state fair food. Probably, in my opinion, the best state fair food I've ever had.
Yeah, and like Texas, you would think that their state fair food's got to be pretty good too.
I would think.
So you leave off the two biggest state fairs in the country.
Yes.
Your list is invalid to me.
I agree. All right, we'll take a break. Come right back. What's this woman's name again? I keep forgetting her name. Something Kristyn?
KPBS?
Yeah, KPBS. That's her name. Kristyn. Pure bullshit. I just love the fact that that's the call letters of the TV station she works at.
That's great.
I think it's magnificent. There's no question. Kristyn Burtt is up next right after this. When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
I've been tracking the weather in Minnesota for a long time. I'm 5 Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Ken Barlow. And in the morning, I've got to be right because my forecast affects your family's entire day. And in the evening, you can count on my friend, Ren.
That's right, Ken. I'm 5 Eyewitness News evening meteorologist, Ren Claire. And as a Minnesotan, I know our weather can be tricky. Throughout the day and into the night, I've got you covered with an accurate forecast to help keep your family safe and ready for any weather.
And don't forget, no matter how things change or what time of day, you'll always get our forecast first at the start of every newscast on 5 Eyewitness News. Start your day with me, Ken Barlow.
And wrap up your day with me, Ren Claire.
Because 5 Eyewitness News is always tracking our weather. So you're always alerted first. It's why 5 Eyewitness News is Minnesota's weather authority.
I hosted my show on the radio for 40 years. Now I host the Tom Barnard Podcast, and I'll tell you, I've never seen the passion and engagement from our audience as I do now. I know we also have businesses that listen to our podcast, and it got me thinking, wouldn't it be great to help those businesses grow by telling my listeners about them? So here's the deal. If you own or handle marketing for a business, would like to have my audience buy your product or service, visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and we'll put together an ad campaign to help your business. That's TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and thank you for listening.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at TomBarnardShow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Kristyn Burtt Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabankco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Kristyn, I think I've asked you this. Have you ever met Mike Bilski, the guy who owns those banks?
I haven't.
You gotta.
I know. It would be great.
He's a big fan of yours. I try to talk him out of it, but he won't listen.
I appreciate the support of my segment every single day from Mike Bilski.
Bilski. Oh, my God. I call him. I get back to town because I'm going to play some golf with some guys from K-Fan over there and Johnny Randall. Phenomenal football player. And then I'm playing again on Sunday with, I don't think Bilski's going to be there, but Timmy Ivory, one of his best friends and one of my best friends, we're going to play on Sunday because Catherine's out of town. She abandoned me, and I'm not very happy about it.
How dare she?
Just to support our daughter and our granddaughter.
They're in Florida at their dance competition. I've been following along.
Oh, you've been following the whole thing?
Yeah, I've been chatting with Alex.
Oh, because she's on a plane now. I'm going to say this again, but one thing about following Facebook, you need more pictures of Catherine on there. She's beautiful. Oh my God! It's like, would you settle down for God? You must get that. I'd assume.
Well, my husband doesn't post at all on social media, so
well, I didn't for 12 years, and when I come back, all I hear is how lucky I am, the stiff that I am, to be married to her.
No, my husband knows he married up. He tells me all the time.
All right, we need a lesson from you because you do speak some Spanish, correct?
A little bit. It's me gusta tus zapatos.
There we go. That's what I said, but
me gusta tu zapato. Like that means something about your shoes.
It means I like your shoes.
Me gusta tus zapatos.
Gusta. Yeah. Oh, so so usually you can tie the words in. Gusto is like Hey, the little
Oh
Gus.
yeah, all the Romance languages,
Yep.
Italian, French, and Spanish. And
Yeah.
honestly, if you can understand one of them, even just not necessarily speaking even, but reading, writing, that kind of thing, you will get along very well, especially if you're out in the more remote areas where maybe English isn't spoken as much, but Europeans are pretty smart and they're pretty good with languages compared to us here in the US, who needs to be a little bit more bilingual or trilingual.
That's true. One of my favorites of all time, because the Lorents were a French family, and I was talking to one of their relatives from France and had the big accent. And I asked the opinion on what they thought of the American people, and he said it in French, and I had to ask what he said, and he said, "You people are such pests."
I would agree with. I think Americans are major pests.
Well, I guess you and he are shoulder to shoulder on that
It's
one.
like, come on, you go to a tourist, like a really big area where like tourists just kind of like congregate, and you'll go, this really is the worst of America.
Yeah. Well, that's the big thing now. I think it's over in Spain. There was a group of protesters that were like squirting people with water guns because they're like, we don't want tourists in our city anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Barcelona. It was in Barcelona.
Oh, it's Barcelona?
Barcelona. Yes. You got to do the Castilian.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
They do that. Barcelona.
Barcelona. So
Barcelona.
somebody had a lisp, and they went to the
I don't know the history of Castilian Spanish, to be honest, and I don't know why they do the breath. I'm sure one of your listeners probably knows, but
Indeed. So what's happening in the biz, sister?
okay, we got some
here we
Kevin
go.
Costner. Yeah, we got to talk Kevin
Oh,
Costner.
God. Kevin.
Okay, his movie so far. Remember, he invested $38 million of his own money for the
Right.
first two parts. Part 1 came out June 28th. It has only earned $25 million globally. Not even in the US. Now, part 2 was supposed to, and that is in past tense, was supposed to come out August 16th. The studio announced yesterday that, like, we are so delighted that audiences are enjoying the film that we're going to give them an extended time to discover part 1 as we move it to PVOD. And if you don't know what that is premium video on demand, meaning you spend like $20 to rent the movie from the comfort of your own home. So they are praying and hoping that the Yellowstone fans who did not show up to the box office will watch it from the comfort of their own home and fork over that $20 to help make some of that money back.
Okay, well, there you. It's what happened to him. This is a guy I've talked to probably 15 times in my career. He's always very pleasant, very nice guy, and I understand he has something to plug and something to sell. I do understand that, but I've never had any problem with Kevin Costner at all.
I don't think that there's a problem with Kevin Costner. I mean, he is difficult to work with on set. There's that. There's that reputation out there. But if you watched any of his Horizon interviews, he's an absolute delight. He charms all the female reporters. I mean, Hoda Kotb and Kelly Clarkson were falling over themselves. Honestly, you could see them blushing and like playing with their hair. I was like, the flirt game is strong with Kevin Costner. He's single too, so legitimately he can do what he wants.
Again? He's single again?
Yeah, he and his wife got a divorce last year, Kristyn Baumgartner. She decided to date one of his best friends and their neighbors.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Oops, yes. No, the crazy thing, it was someone that, you know, you always have that couple you go out on a double date with. The wife and the husband. Yeah. Yeah, it's always awkward. Be very careful on who you go with double dates with, you know?
Yeah, I suppose that's probably true.
So here's the deal. It will also show up on Max because Warner Brother owns this. They have not announced a date as to when it will be released on Warner Brothers, but as of July 16th, you're going to be able to buy it on PVOD.
Okay.
And there is no current release date for part 2. I think that I have a feeling it's going to wind up on PVOD because otherwise they're going to take a bath at the box office, to be honest. However, Kevin Costner is very stubborn and he is going to complete his passion project. And he's already started filming part 3. He's on a hiatus right now, a little summer hiatus. They will go back in August to continue filming part 3.
God, that's so amazing. Something just struck me though, because we've been talking to a lot of different people this morning. meeting them and hanging out with them or doing whatever. I had a person one time go, there is no way that you've met and talked to all the people you claim to have met. And I said, I was on one of the hottest shows, and for a 10, 12-year period, it was the #1 show in America for 37 years. You're going to run into everybody. Right?
You absolutely will. And I will tell you, as someone who is a little bit younger than you, I forget who I've interviewed. So sometimes when someone passes, I will literally Google Kristyn Burtt, blah, 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 to see if I have a clip. And sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I did interview them. A great example was like Tom Sizemore. I was like, did I interview him?
Oh, I loved him.
I know. He was, there was something, he was so troubled, with his addiction. It was such an illness for him. But there was something so sweet about him. There was like a gentleness and a vulnerability that you just go, what a rough road this must have been for him, because he really was a sweet guy. He had his problems. There were demons. Don't get me wrong.
Well, did you just refer to Tevin and AJ as demons? Because I have my demons too,
They sit next to you every morning.
Every morning I have to sit with them.
They sit on your shoulder.
Very painful,
You don't have the angel and the devil. You just have two demons.
It's so sad. And I have noticed this, and you're right there in the middle of it all. But it seems the bigger people get, and it's not that they become, major pricks or whatever, but their lives change so much. They're like not comfortable with it, I guess. Marlon Brando is a perfect example. I mean, he literally went crazy from it.
Yeah, I would never want fame, to be honest. And I spoke with, and for this name, some people won't know. Other people who have watched Daytime will know. I interviewed Joshua Morrow, and he plays Nick Newman on The Young and the Restless. He celebrated his 30th anniversary. We're talking like a good-looking guy. He's probably maybe in his mid-50s, I'm guessing. And he said to me, I made a choice when I got this role that I was going to stay as long as they would have me, because it gave me that right level of fame where people appreciate you and just will be like, hi, I love your show, and run off, but never really interrupt his family life. And he said, I was able to raise a family, raise my boys, go to the grocery store, do all of that, have a steady job in the entertainment industry. And I never sought to have that bigger career that usually people use Daytime as a stepping stone. Like, I'm going to be here 2 years and I'm getting out. He's like, I came, I unpacked my bags, and I never left. And I actually appreciated that, because so many people are like, I'm only going to do Daytime for just a hot second. And then, I'm going to be a movie star. I'm going to be a Netflix star.
Right. Yeah, it's really too bad that it happens to people. Some people I think handle, like Audrey Hepburn, I think handled her international fame quite well, but she was a pretty reserved person anyway.
Yeah, you have to be able to. My suggestion is, if you become super famous, you don't live in LA, you don't live in New York City.
I agree.
I mean, Julia Roberts is a great example of that. Like she lived out for years on her New Mexico ranch and raised her kids. And as I got a little bit older, I think they moved to San Francisco. But again, San Francisco, nobody cares that Julia Roberts lives there. And you're avoiding the paparazzi. Your kids stay out of the public eye. They can be their own person. You really don't want the Taylor Swift level of fame. I trust me on that. You do not.
Yep.
Your life will never be normal, and you're in a weird bubble, and you start losing touch with reality. I mean, I feel like Taylor Swift has done a decent job of trying to be a decent person, but oftentimes when you get into that billionaire bubble, they're so out of touch with the average person and what they do.
I have a question. If you ever got in the billionaire bubble, would we ever see you again?
Would,
AJ's already shaking his head.
We would see her on TV or something. We would not see her on this show.
No.
I would be here. No, come on. Are you kidding me? Here's my thing. I have a very strong work ethic, and I still feel like if I was a billionaire, like let's just say I won the lottery, because that's probably the most realistic scenario, which still won't happen. I still would have to work in some way. I would probably let some jobs that I don't feel like I need to do or I want to put less work into. But I would probably still work because my brain needs to stay stimulated.
Yeah. Well, that's the one part of it. You can't just sit around in a hut somewhere. You got to keep your brain moving. That's very true.
Yeah. And I was the school nerd. I love learning. I've always loved learning. I love reading. I love studying. So, I mean, maybe I would take the time off to write. I've got 2 book ideas that would offer me that opportunity, that freedom to do that. But I would still do other things. I like to wake up every morning and be like, got to go see Tom and the gang.
See, that's the way I feel about it too.
Yeah.
Right? So you're going to write a couple of books, you are?
Oh, I've got a couple of books in mind. Yes.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Everybody's trying to talk me into writing my life story, but I don't
I've
think
been
I wanna do
telling
it.
you,
I know
think
you
you need to
have.
do it. You have so many great stories. They need to be told. Otherwise, they will be lost, to be honest.
Yeah, but I can't use the title miasma, which is poisoned air.
I know but Poisoned Air is a good
Mhm.
title.
Just go with poisoned air, not
Go with
miasma.
Poisoned Air. Yeah.
And in your foreword, you can write how you wanted to name it miasma, and then all the
True.
people
But
that
Kristyn Burtt bullied you into naming it Poisoned Air
Yeah.
instead.
Yes. You can totally heckle me in the foreword.
How about this? Chapter 1. What an asshole. What do you think?
I think that's a good start.
I think at least it's true. Yeah, it's really nice. Thank you. Thank you for your support.
Well, no, I mean,
Well,
it
no.
grabs you. No, if you think about it, that
It
grabs
would.
you. If you name your first title, What an Asshole, I'm like, well,
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear what this is about.
And right now, there's a lot of people on podcasts that are doing where you're like, oh, name the biggest pain in the ass celebrity you've had to work with.
Oh,
So it's
yeah,
becoming more and
yeah.
more normalized to just call people an a-hole. So you could write a whole book about and name each chapter about a different a-hole that you've had to deal with.
My whole life, I've been called an asshole in radio. Let me tell you why.
There you go. It's absolutely true. Absolutely. Okay, well, maybe I'll talk to it. But I should probably have somebody write it with me. I don't
Yeah,
want
you
to.
have a ghostwriter and you tell the
Yeah.
stories and they write it down and you collaborate on that and you work with an editor because you'll wind up with like 1,000 pages and they're going to be like, okay, great. We need like 250 to 300. So
Yeah, 1,000 pages would be a little bit too much.
yeah. Unless you're going to do, Tom Barnard, an American saga in 4 parts.
Yeah, boy, that'd be a great idea.
And then we
Wonderful.
find somebody to play you in like the Netflix remake that's like a 4-part docu-series.
Tom, who plays you?
God, who would play me? Who's a pain in the ass? Who would I want to play me? Do you have somebody? If you had a choice somebody to play you in a movie, who would it be?
Me personally,
Mhm.
yeah, that's a good question. Well, I can tell you who people always like. I get confused with Kristen Bell a lot, and I'm like,
Oh, you do really?
she's a Kristen. She's short like me. She's blonde like me, and she went to NYU. We went there at the same time, so I'm like, there you go.
Okay,
I'll just have
One
the
thing's good.
Kristen Bell.
One good thing is I've lost 85 pounds, so they wouldn't have to dig Jackie Gleason up again.
But there's got to be someone that we're missing right off, like that's right in front of our face, who would be great to portray you.
Hi, Judy. Jude would like to do it.
Jude's gonna play Tom Barnard. He's gonna be like, rough.
Catherine left Jude behind for her 5-day trip, and he does not like it. I'll tell you
Yeah,
that.
Jude is in mourning.
Oh God, is he ever?
Bill sent me the laundry basket, a photo of the laundry basket tipped over, and it's my personal laundry basket. And my
Mhm.
cat was sleeping in it. He just wanted my scent. I was like, that is so depressing and sad.
That's sweet. That's very sweet.
I know how much he loves me, like the most out of anyone on this planet. So
Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? Of course he does.
yeah, Linus is like my shadow.
Okay, so we'll do this, and don't be massive assholes about it. You can be funny, but don't be. So, who do you think, as a listener to this show, should play me in a movie?
I think you right now, Ian McShane's the pick.
Ian McShane.
Ian McShane. He's kind of got the same facial.
Yeah, he does. I get.
think
You know,
as you.
people think I'm him once in a while. Or at least they used to.
We'd have to figure out like if we're doing like a younger Tom. I don't know.
Yeah, get like a Kevin James to play a young Tom Bernard.
So there you go.
Oh, that's kind of fun. I like that.
I told you I lost 85 pounds. Leave me alone.
I said a young powerlifting type.
I think.
Oh yeah, okay.
I think Kevin James lost weight too. By the way,
Yeah, he did.
Perfect.
He
Yeah,
absolutely
I think
did. Yep.
it's really good.
How about The Rock?
Oh, how about John Goodman? John
I
Goodman.
love John
There we go.
Goodman.
That is a really good name, and he also lost weight.
Oh God, I see him on Righteous
Gemstones.
Righteous
Righteous Gemstones.
Gemstones. He must have lost about 100 pounds.
Yeah, he lost a lot of weight.
No
But
doubt.
I think he would be that's a great name too. Like,
It is.
oh, I'm kind of
George-
into this. Tom, you got to do
Clooney, yeah, that's
this.
it. George Clooney. Too big an asshole. I don't want him playing me. He's too self-righteous for me. I'm not a fan of his at all. He's okay. He's an okay actor, but he's very self-righteous. Don't you think?
Dead silence.
All right, get the hell off the show.
He's lovely to interview. I will say that he is.
Is he?
He's one of
That's
those
good. I'm glad to
really
hear that.
nice movie stars that'll give you like great sound bites, be funny, be charming. I will say he's at least one of the good guys to the press when you need that sound bite to go back to your editor
Yeah.
with. So I appreciate that. That's doing your movie star job.
All right, you pill. We'll see you for the Friday show tomorrow.
How dare I? You better be working on your outline for your memoir. So
Yeah, we'll get it done.
chapter 1 we have.
Push really hard.
What was it? I was an asshole.
Why are you such an asshole?
Oh, why are you such an asshole?
Exactly. There you go.
See you
All right,
tomorrow.
talk to you tomorrow. Thanks a lot. Kristyn Burtt Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. That is going to do it for this show. The family show starts in about 10 minutes.